1 week away from our first NFL Sunday, 4 days away from the kickoff game when the reigning Super Bowl champion Bucs host the Cowboys. The team the Bucs beat in the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs, opened the season at home against the Browns in a divisional round rematch, a game you can see on CBS. And another very intriguing matchup also on CBS. Two former Alabama teammates going head-to-head in Foxborough. Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins visiting Mac Jones and the Patriots. And how's this for historic? Jalen Hurts will start for the Eagles when they visit the Falcons. It will mark the first time in history that three quarterbacks from the same school will start in week 1 of an NFL season. What's even more wild, all three were teammates at Alabama when the Tide won a title in the 2017 season. Welcome in the Wizard of Odds, Kenny White, former Louisiana running back Emory Hunt. Start with the kickoff game set for this Thursday. Tom Brady and the Bucs, a 7.5-point favorite. Total's 51 and a hook. Tom Brady 5-0 in his career against the Cowboys. Dak Prescott coming back from a season-ending ankle injury and a shoulder injury that popped up in training camp. Big question mark for Dallas is their defense, while Tampa Bay returns all 22 starters. Kenny, what's your approach in the kickoff game?
Yeah, the approach is going to be playing the better team that's going to have a packed house that's going to be going crazy for the Super Bowl champs. And Super Bowl champs have done well as of late on these Thursday night games. Over the history of the last 20 years, they have not done well because obviously the line is overinflated. You can fade them and do very well. But this first game, not sure if the line was overinflated because it was like America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The number's gone up a little bit to 7.5, but I still don't mind laying it here. I think Tom Brady is that driving force that he makes just everyone on his team better. He did that with Tampa Bay last year. They're all prepared to win another title again this year. Dallas, too many question marks. The defense is so weak. Tampa should have no problem putting points on the board, and we still don't know if Dak's healthy. So, yes, give me the Bucs.
I'm going to take the Cowboys in the points here. I like the Cowboys' approach to this ball game. At the end of the day, they have the luxury of leaning on their ground game to kind of ease Dak Prescott into it and also calm the pressure from the pass rush that they're going to see from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The best way to stop pressure coming from those ends to run right at them, turn them into run defenders, and that's going to shrink the ball game. So we're going to see a tightly contested game. And the Cowboys still have a lot of weapons at wide receiver, a lot of catch and run options. And I like the matchup with their receivers versus those corners of Tampa Bay. So I see this as a closer game because Dallas, at the end of the day, if it starts to get a little bit away from them, they can lean on their run game, shrink it, take the air out of the football. But they also still have the element of the explosive component of their offense. So I see a tight game taking the Cowboys in the points.
Now, to Kenny's point, since the Super Bowl champ started playing this kickoff game in 2004, 11-4-1 against the spread, looking to cover 7.5 for the reigning Super Bowl champs. And Brady and the Bucs going to try to be the first team to repeat as Super Bowl champs since the 03-04 Patriots, led by Tom Brady. Brady's old team has a new quarterback, and we've got another very intriguing matchup in Week 1. Two former Alabama teammates going head-to-head in Foxborough. Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins visiting Mac Jones and the Patriots. New England, a short 2.5-point favorite. The total's 43 and a hook. Kenny, you picking a side or eyeing the total in this matchup?
I like the total here, Hakeem. I'm going to go under the total of 44. Patriots built around defense the last couple of years, obviously, and they've always been a strong defensive football team, but last year especially, they had to rely on that defense. I think they were going in that direction this year and going to be a more conservative football team with Cam Newton. Now making the switch to Mac Jones, I'm not sure if a lot changes. They're going to be conservative. Belichick will definitely protect Mac Jones. They'll play field position. Both these teams, big game, divisional game. They played low-scoring games the last couple of years. And I also still don't trust Tua Tagovailoa. Obviously, when there's smoke, there's fire. When you're talking about bringing in Deshaun Watson, maybe the Miami Dolphins being the front runner, Dolphins are definitely not convinced Tua's the guy. And I question the arm strength still. Too much time to prepare for Belichick for one team. This should be a very good game with a rookie quarterback in New England. Points will be at a premium.
I couldn't smash the Dolphins in this game, fast enough. I'm taking the Dolphins in the points here. You look at the matchup that's going to be decided in this ball game. Miami's defense, which is outstanding against a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. What else about Miami's defense that I really like? They can turn the ball over. They have the leading interceptor returning in Xavier Howard, double-digit interceptions on the season. So they're not going to miss many opportunities to turn the ball over. Mac Jones, everyone is overrating his performance in the preseason, but right now that's all we have to go off of. But when you look at that preseason more in-depthly, you see a guy that struggled versus pressure, pressure, won't be able to get out of the way when it comes. Miami's going to play press on the outside and send more pressure to him in the pocket and daring him to beat that pressure with his arm and with his legs. I see this as a breakout game for the Dolphins. Plus, New England will be without Stephon Gilmore. That's one less matchup opportunity for those speedy, game-breaking wide receivers that the Dolphins have. So I see the Dolphins win this game on the strength of Tua Tagovailoa because I still don't trust the Dolphins' ability to run the football.
Tua Tagovailoa, 6-3 straight up and against the spread last season as a rookie. All right, now let's get some of your best bets in Week 1. Start with your top favorite to cover. Emory, start with you.
Top favorite to cover in Week 1. I like the Ravens. Listen, what they do well in this ball game is what the Raiders have questions about entering the season. The Raiders, can they protect Derek Carr better? Well, the Ravens do a great job of getting after the quarterback. On the other side, the Raiders' run defense, can they stop the run? Well, guess what the Ravens do exceptionally well? Run the football. So their biggest strengths are the biggest question marks, in my opinion, for the Raiders. So I'm laying those points with Baltimore.
So nobody caught me because I'm not smart enough to really read what the sheet's supposed to be. And Hakeem, you just said top favorite, and I looked at my sheet. It says top favorite to cover, and I sent over the Washington football team. They're not a favorite. They're an underdog this week. My top favorite would be the Denver Broncos, guys. Sorry about that, and sorry, graphics team, that I didn't read the report last night correctly enough. But I'll take the Broncos minus the points on the road. This defense is just ridiculously good. I think the Broncos have a great chance of making the playoffs this year. I think the addition of Teddy Bridgewater is going to be big for this offense. Love the pieces he has around him. The wide receiver core is outstanding. The offensive line is very good. Very good running game. This is a very well-balanced team with an excellent defense going up against a Giant team who has a lot of injuries and are still rebuilding at this point. So I'll lay the points with the Broncos minus 2.5. Great job with the graphics. Look at that.
Yeah,
this team's amazing.
They don't miss. Our graphics guys don't miss. Okay, we got guys in there. We got women in there. We got them doing their jobs. I mean, they're all reading my, everybody I think they were reading my mind. They're on top of it. They're on top of it. They know what they're doing in there. That's what we got. We got a good control room. That's TV jargon. That's people behind the scenes you're not seeing right now. Real quickly though, Kenny, because I remember this line opening at -1.5 in favor of the Broncos. Is this a situation like get this now before it maybe even creeps up a little higher?
It's definitely going to go to 3, Hakeem. The general public's going to lay the 2.5 here in this game. Also with Barkley questionable. I'm sure he's going to play, but just his status alone. But yeah, the public loves a favorite, and I think everyone's seeing the Broncos are a very good football team. So yeah, this is going to go up a little bit.
Yeah, I like Teddy Bridgewater on the road. He's pretty awesome against the spread. 11-3 as a starter, pretty incredible on the road, and he's going to go to New York in Week 1. All right, let's get your top money line underdog, Emory. Which dog will be barking in Week 1?
Listen, I've been on this wonderful CBS Sports HQ program all throughout the summer and up until last week saying the same thing. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that no one is talking about, and they will go into Atlanta and beat the Atlanta Falcons straight up. So take the Eagles in the points, sprinkle them on the money line. Jalen Hurts is going to have a fantastic year. He's the second best quarterback in that NFC East, and I think that defense will be much improved. The offensive line is healthy and ready to go. The run game will be top 8 in the NFL. All of that screams they will beat the Falcons and surprise teams in Week 1. I like Philadelphia.
Give me the Bears. Chicago Bears. I'll take the Bears plus $3 in this one. Rams playing against they're playing the Rams, who have not played any of their starters. Matthew Stafford comes in. He's not had any game snaps with his starting team. The continuity, I just do not think will be there. The Bears defense is outstanding. This is going to be a low-scoring football game. Points will at a premium. I think the Chicago defense has the advantage. They've seen Matthew Stafford for twice a year, every year. So they know what he's about. They know what his tendencies are. I think it's going to be very easy for them to game plan for this game. Andy Dalton, very solid. He got enough snaps in preseason. And with 2 guys fighting for the job, this offensive line has played more than most offensive lines in preseason. I think the Bears are ready to go in this football game. I think they're in it all the way to the end. I think they've got a good chance for the upset.
That game on Sunday night at the new stadium there in Los Angeles. All right, now for your top parlay in Week 1. Let's get something with some nice value. Kenny, start with you. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I don't know if this has as much value as the Bears money line, because you're going to get plus 260 on this one. Bears plus 7.5 and under the total. Again, the Rams offense not playing together in the preseason, I think hurts the continuity with a new quarterback that has never thrown to these receivers at game speed. Bears defense is solid. Rams defense is solid. We know we're going to get a low scoring game. Anytime points that are premium, you get more to the touchdown, there's value there. So Bears to the under.
I'll go with the Eagles plus 3.5 over Atlanta. I've made the case for them knocking off the Falcons. I also like the Browns plus 6 over Kansas City. When you look at that Browns football team, they were tight last year in the playoffs, and they were a game breaker away from probably beating Kansas City, which means they get a game breaker back in Odell Beckham Jr. Oh, by the way, they added another game breaker on defense in Jadeveon Clowney to go with Myles Garrett. So I think this will be a very good and close ball game. So take them plus the points. And we already spoke about the Ravens and what they do from a matchup perspective against the Raiders. So lay those 4 with Baltimore and have yourself a fantastic weekend.
All right, let's get your very best wager for week 1. Any game, any side, any total, any prop. Listen up. Pay attention what Kenny and Emory are about to say. Kenny, I'll start with you. What's your tippy top play in week 1?
I'm going to lay the points with the Patriots. I'm head-to-head with Emory here in this game. I think this Bill Belichick, his planning and giving this much time to prepare for one game and what he's seen in Mac Jones to make that decision. They said this guy is way above his years of maturity. But I just think it's the overall team aspect. The Patriots organization is better than Miami's organization, and I'm going to question Tua's arm strength on the road against Bill Belichick. I think he's going to dial up a defense to shut Miami down, and I think the Patriots win this football game.
I'm dancing with the person I brought to the party, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Laying the 4 with those guys against the Raiders. They have the best player on the field, regardless of position, in Lamar Jackson. And when you watch the Ravens on defense, I feel like they have 22 guys out there because they can blitz all out pressure. They can cover on the back end, and they have more than enough linebackers to make any plays underneath. So it feels like they're playing with more than 11 guys out there on defense. So I just love the Ravens in this matchup against Las Vegas.
Yeah, you should always be dancing with the date you bring to the dance. Don't leave your date. Don't do it. I'm not saying I know that from experience because I didn't do that, but I'm just saying don't do that because it's not smart. Young people, don't be doing that. You know what is smart? Kenny White and Emory Hunt breaking down week 1. I mean, this is awesome how close we are. 1 week away. Here we go. 4 days away from the kickoff game. And Emory and Kenny, rock fight here. They're on opposite sides. Emory says, give me the points with the Cowboys. Kenny says, nah, I'm laying the points with the Buccaneers, the reigning Super Bowl champs. Miami and the under. Here is the play. Top favorite to cover. Emory loves Baltimore to cover Monday night at Vegas, 4.5. Kenny likes Denver to cover the 2.5 against the Giants. Teddy Bridgewater, 21-3 against the spread on the road in his NFL career. So he'll start for the Broncos against Daniel Jones there. Top money line underdog. Emory likes Philadelphia, plus 155. So Jalen Hurts getting the start there against Matt Ryan. And you'll have Andy Dalton. And you'll have Matthew Stafford, and Kenny's back, and Andy Dalton plus 285 on the line. Again, Emory really loves Baltimore minus 4.5 against the Raiders, and Kenny says, I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Mac Jones as he faces former teammate Tua Tagovailoa in week 1. All right, here's a look at Kenny's week 1 parlay. Correlated parlay, Bears and the points and the under. So Bears plus 7.5 and the under of 44.5, odds to hit at plus 264. As for Emory's week 1 parlay, he's got a couple of plays here, and they're very, very nice because you get some nice value here. Eagles plus 3.5, Browns plus 6, and again, the Ravens to cover 4.5 on the road in Las Vegas at plus 596.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.